Hello, hello, hello. How we doing? Welcome back to another podcast live streaming video on YouTube, Facebook, and other places. How are we today? On this wonderful June the 2nd. 5 months into the year. What be happening? It's been a few weeks since 3 weeks actually, since my last stream, because I was back in England and Spain for my birthday. So how are we doing? Great to have you here, Judith. I gotta remember all my buttons. Welcome back. And thank you for your welcome back. Great to have you here. Nesta is here on Facebook as well. I'm glad to be back and glad for you to be back. Yeah, it was nice, thank you. It was, I always say it's never really a true vacation because you're staying at people's homes. But the Spain one was a little bit more because I was by the beach. So that was nice. But it was nice to see my family and my friends. And to see England. The weather was pretty good. Hey Jen, welcome here. You're attending live. I know you're usually walking up in the air. As you can tell from your profile picture. Flying around. And Mina is here as well. Great to have you. And the superstar Linda is here. I mean, we kind of spoke as well just a couple of days ago, didn't we? I'm going to email you today as well. So watch out for that one. I got a few people to email actually. But great to have you here. Oh, let's get the auto cameras going. Let's see if it's still working. I hadn't tested this yet. But what else can we say? So we hit 51,000 subscribers on YouTube, so that's pretty cool. Oh. Focus. See, saying hi to one another. So yeah, we hit 51,000 subscribers on YouTube with the YouTube channel, guess what, is still tanking. We are going down and down, deeper and deeper. The views are going deeper, down, where really we want them to be up. Only a couple of thousand down. We're at now 106,000 views per month. Which is not so cool, is it? Subscribers are down. The watch time is down. The ad rev is down. But hey, it's okay. We keep doing it. Creating the content. That's what we're here to do. It doesn't matter. Things swing back. Hey Mary, another person. A superstar who I'm going to email as well. Oh, what did you do that for? Just jumping off there. But great to have you here. It's all good. I don't really worry about the metrics too much. In the grand scheme. Ah, thank you, Linda. It's kind of weird getting back into the YouTube game, or live stream game. So what else can we talk about which is new and different? Oh, here's what we can do. Quick. New titles, fresh. There we go. We've got lucid dreaming, love your body, binge eating, academic success, bruxium. Is it bruxium? The teeth clenching? I had that once. Available in day, sleep, and 4-hour sleep as well. And I didn't do them all in meditation because I don't think you really need one for the lucid dreaming. But I did for a couple of them. But they're definitely all in day, night, and 4-hour sleep. So look at the app. You got new sessions. And so I did that all this morning, and then I uploaded about, they're not released yet, but I've uploaded to the back-end system about 50 reflections, which I need to be more consistent with publishing. So that'll be happening. So that's something new. Good news is, when I was back in England, I had three Indians dinners. So I hit my max quota for being back in England. Do you know what? There's a really good question. It's one of those really important ones because, like, on a business level, you can't rely just on one platform, technically. Like, if I solely relied my, like, income on YouTube and suddenly they blacklist you or they change the algorithms, then suddenly that income is down. You're like, what else do I do? So you do actually have to diversify, which I do with my program, which is my big one, my app, the podcast, because we don't control those things. Like, one day, Apple or Android say, well, we don't want hypnosis there anymore. Not that they would do that, but let's just say they did, and suddenly, boom. So you never really own the property. You only own the thing within the property, and it's not even really yours if they can take it away. But yeah, the algorithms, we were there once, we'll get there again. I think I need to probably do a hypnosis session for making people be consistent with the night guards. Pretty much. I don't know if I don't think anyone would know. I got back, so it was a long flight, like 11 hours or so. And obviously got the journey to the airport, about 45 minutes. Waiting around in the airport, I get there kind of late, so it's only about an hour and a half. Then the 10.5 hours flight, and then getting off the plane, going through immigration pretty quick. I only have one bag as well, so super easy, a light packer. And then about an hour and a half, 2-hour journey to my first location from the airport. And then the next day, I was walking out my eldest brother, and I'd done my back in again. I did it too soon. So the first few days of that was the only time I walked out when I wanted to walk out more. But I managed to get lots of walks in. But now I'm feeling pretty rested. I did 3 miles today, 5 miles yesterday. Before our coaching call, I did 3 miles, and then in the afternoon, I did another 3 miles of walking. So I've been really getting back into the hiking. So that's been good. And this time I didn't put any weight on. How cool is that? went on vacation, had Indian food, other types of food, and came back the same way. Yeah, gotta diversify. Hey, Angela. Yeah, it was pretty good, thank you. It was nice. It was great seeing the family, friends, going to Spain again. Yeah, it was really good. It was my birthday as well, so that was always nice. Exactly. Hey, Michelle, welcome back. Welcome back. Watch out, Mary. I'm going to email you saying it's pretty cool. So watch out for that. And thank you very much. How cool was the group coaching call just Saturday, by the way? I really enjoyed that one. Right, it's 11 minutes past. We usually start, I believe, 1:15 the hour. Like I said, if you haven't opened the app, go ahead and open it. Maybe not now, because we've got the Love Your Body one, the binge eating one. Don't know why I hadn't done that one before. The lucid dreaming one, try that one out. In fact, Eric, are you here? Eric?
Oh, that was loud.
Eric, are you here? Because he had a lucid dream. He made a comment on YouTube, which I haven't managed to reply to any YouTube comments. So yeah, check that one out. And I got one for academic success. So if you've got maybe a youngster who wants to learn, or if you're at university or college, then watch out for that one. That's right. So go ahead and relax. I should put an echo on this effect. Can we do it now? How do I do it? Settings. We should never do this. Edit. Ready for this? Hello? So go ahead. No, you're not that one. Off. I'll reverb. Off. I said. Reverb. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Oh, I've got to turn it on. Oh, that's too much. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Okay. So go ahead. There we go. Done. We did it. Now we can do hypnosis like this, going deeper and relax. Because speaking to you, the unconscious. Okay, we got to set up some cool effects. I just had an idea that we can have the reverb and then another button with the echo and the reverb, and then I can just press the echo button on the last sentence, or the last word of the sentence, so the last word will echo. So go deeper, and then it'll go deeper. Yeah, bring back the void. I'm gonna do some more void streams, by the way. We're gonna get back to that. Do you know what? The number one thing of youth, keeping young, is play. Being playful.
That is... Oops.
That is how we do it. So I wonder how much fun we can have on this Power Talk. But I do want to set this up. I've got so many new things I can do. But I can't do it now. Let's go home. Okay, should we get into this Power Talk? It is going to be episode 1117. And today, it's going to be a bit of a reframe on... Because I had a thought about our future self and our present self and how we need to consider certain things. So it came to me. So I think it was on a walk or a hike. So I made a little note. Not that. On my phone. If you haven't got a physical one, please go ahead and make notes on your phone. Because that's important. But let's go for it, shall we? Hydration time. Exactly. Did we do this last time, that every time that inner dialogue comes in, and so I actually uploaded a reflection today, I haven't released it yet, on being playful of the modalities, the sub-modalities, which is our visual, auditory, kinesthetic, and olfactory and gustatory, 5 senses, not 6. And when you play around with either the visual, I've let go of phobias that way. Like you make the spider with boots on, maybe pink boots, a top hat, and it just kind of distorts the unconscious mind. But also you can do it with the voice. So every time your unconscious mind goes, "You're so silly and stupid for doing that," you just go ahead and change it to,
"You're so silly and stupid for doing that." And just keep on changing the inner dialogue.
Mixing it up, and suddenly the unconscious mind will kind of get confused after a while. That's actually going to be a part of another Power Talk, which comes from another note of the conscious communication that we feed down into the unconscious. I was like, which one should we do today? But I chose this other one. So we'll go ahead and do that.
And have a little bit of fun. You ready for some fun? Are you ready? Welcome back to the podcast.
We need that to have an echo on it. The amount of fun we could have. So let's go ahead and turn down this music right here. And remember how to do a podcast. It's been a while. How do we do a podcast? Let's see. Music. Okay. Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Joseph Clough, and this is episode 1117. And today we have another Power Talk. Now, in this Power Talk, I want to talk about the present. I want to talk about the future. And of course, it's all about the future self and the present self. Now, if I want you to consider, I want to invite you into just an idea. I want you to go out to a particular moment in time, whether it be a year's time, whether it be 10 years' time, whether it be a year, 6 months, you get to choose ultimately, just a good time in the future. And consider, if you were to step inside that future you, would that you be happy with what you're presently doing? Now, if that future you is not quite happy, it's okay. Right? Because it'd be far worse for us to carry on doing what we're doing and then become that unhappy self. But by going into the future and just imagining, even if you're just making subtle changes, that future you might not be totally, superly happy. Maybe our health isn't the way we want it to be, or our relationships, or our business, or our money, or our career, any area of our life ultimately. So use this as a real wonderful, gentle wake-up call. We can be playful with this in the importance of it as well. Sometimes there is a time that we have to take a stand and take responsibility. We've got to have that epiphany, that wake-up call. And there's also times where we can invite a bit of playfulness and be graceful for ourselves. And we're going to use a mixture of two. But remember, even in the assumption of that responsibility of being that little bit stronger, see it as that you're treating your future self better. And that is something you should be very, very proud of. You see, you may have gone through many things in life, maybe just very recently, maybe the last year or two, maybe when you were very, very young. And we know the significant emotional events that we go through will have like an echo effect, right? It might happen in that moment, but it echoes throughout our life if we carry on the same. We might be carrying echoes of sadness, of hurt, of guilt, or shame. We might have those echoes in our mind of the literal inner dialogue of, I'm not worthy, I'm not deserving, I'm not good enough, I'm not capable. Or why do you self-sabotage? Why are you like this? You might even have the emotions which are future echoes, which are anxiety, or anxious thoughts, or projections of what you think will happen. So these echoes in the mind are something we can pay attention to, but I'd like us to consider what those future echoes are doing for our future self. And if you take a look in the mirror and go, look, maybe right now I'm not going all in on my transformation. Maybe I've been a little bit too self-sabotaging, or maybe I've been to take myself a little bit too easy. And by the way, we all do this. Like, I do this still. Although I know a lot of stuff about the mind, I've been doing this for 23 years. I've still got to catch myself when I'm in these moments, and I've got to take an honest look, and I've got to go, look, am I going to be quite happy doing what I'm presently doing? Is what I'm presently doing going to be a very careful, wonderful, nurturing, and growing thing for that future Joseph in the future? And it's a good wake-up call to have. So if you were to step in the future self, like I said, you will know the rough kind of gauge of time that you'll need. And just notice how that future you will feel. And even if you do have some unhappiness about that, like you may feel a bit of regret because maybe we didn't do things. In fact, I'm releasing soon a future reflection, and it might be out by the time of this release on the app. If you haven't got the app, go to freehypnosis.app and download it. But ultimately, we have levels of regret. We got the regret of not doing something, but also we've got the regret of doing something. Now, I'd far prefer to have all the regret of doing things and making so-called mistakes or so-called things which didn't get me to where I want to be. I'd rather those kind of regrets of doing things and so-called failing, which isn't really possible if I learn, than the regret of not doing. So maybe when we think about our future self, we can think about that as well. Maybe we have to be putting out more output. Maybe there are things that we're kind of cheating ourselves out of. Are we cheating out of our own self-happiness or our own abundance in the future? So we always have a choice. We have a choice to maybe kind of doom scroll on our phone. We have the choice to be able to put it away and then engross ourselves into something which nurtures our growth. Now, sometimes that can even be a problem. Maybe you have too much stimulus, too much information that you get overwhelmed, right? And then you got to cut out that noise. And by information, by the way, could be listening to continuous podcasts or buying programs and not doing them, where really if we just do the one thing, like the one program or that one person that you work with, or say like custom hypnosis sessions, which I do for my clients and all those things, if you just do the one thing, that will usually get you the result. But there's that inner need at a human level thinking we need more. And we know that to be true from consumption. Like we consume products, new phones, new cars, or at least we desire to have those things, where really sometimes we got to stop and focus on what we can do right now to be able to make our future self super happy. So we always have that choice. We always have a decision to be made. And when you make that decision now, like in any moment, we have an opportunity to change the path of our life. And sometimes it's going to be through those big decisions that you've got to make, you maybe need to make. Sometimes I always say, look, we get to make these decisions, but sometimes, yeah, we do need to make a decision to stop the echoes continually to happen. Because you don't want those echoes of the guilt, the anger, the sadness, the fear, the guilt, the shame, all of those things to continue echoing out. And the way we stop that is to be able to take responsibility and really take a close look at what we're really doing. Be honest with yourself. Are you doing the work? I call it the work. I mean, some people have negative connotations because it's work. I see work as something that I enjoy. It could be like working out, working on my business, all those things. I enjoy doing that. But whatever it is for you as a word, but you know what I mean when I say like doing the work, it's doing the healing of self. It is doing the transformational stuff. It's not always about the bits of information. It's about actually going, do you know what? I'm going to drastically change who I am today. I'm going to give up who I presently am for my future self. And even if that is a little bit painful in the beginning, it's okay, embrace it. Anything you've learned usually had a bit of hard work. You know, when you first learned to walk, you fell over probably quite a few times, and you even probably cried about it. You hurt yourself by learning to walk, but you didn't stop. You carried on doing it. You could say the same thing. I know even for like driving. I was a terrible driver. I was so anxious about it when I was learning to drive. But you push through that because you know on the other side of getting that driving license is the freedom to go wherever you want. The other side of learning to walk gives you the freedom to go where you want to go. You don't want to be carried around for the rest of your life, right? That'd be ridiculous. If your parents were still carrying you around to this day or pushing you in a buggy of some sort, you or a pram or whatever words you use in your countries, it would be a little bit ridiculous. So you've got to push through that and realize that you get to embrace that. It can be a joyful thing, even if it's a hard thing. Now, there are going to be times where you choose your hard, right? And what I mean by that, you get to decide. You can choose the hard way of getting somewhere. Sometimes you want to choose the hard way. For example, here's an analogy. And I'm never going to tell you to do something I haven't done myself, right? I've been in debt. I've been financially not in good positions. And in those times of not being good in financial positions, I've actually learned to invest more in myself. That's just been my mentality. I don't know if it's because I started running a business, like my own practice, at 18 years old. And I've been doing so self-employed for, like I said, the last 22, 23 years. But that is the quickest way to get transformation because you pay your way out of problems, right? You pay to get someone who's a specialist. Now you can do it the harder way if you want. Let's just say you're so reverse or adverse to investment by doing it through the app or through other podcasts or whatever it may be for you. But you get to choose that. But the more you go all in on yourself, the more that you're willing to sacrifice who you are in order to become who you want to be in that future self, where that future you looks back with tears of being so proud of what you did, even if it was hard. In fact, that future you will probably say that was the making of you because it wasn't easy. Because you took a stand, you took responsibility, and you pushed through that initial resistance. Just like working out, in the beginning it is painful. I remember going to Thailand and I went there to literally lose weight and get into shape. I couldn't run half a mile. It was hard, it was hot, it was like mosquitoes, it was in the rainy season. And it was just so, like my lungs weren't used to that, what kind of word I'm thinking for, but the atmosphere of the thickness in the air. I just couldn't do it. But I pushed through. I invested this time and invested in a program to do the work. And as I kept on persisting, guess what? It gets easier. That's what we forget to realize. We think it's always going to be hard. But the real truth of the matter is, when you start, yes, it is hard. And there may be tears. There may be frustrations. There may be times where you might be wanting to give up. But if you have that future self in your mind and you're going to go, I'm going to make that future me cry full of proudness of what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to cry in the present. I'm going to go through the real harsh and the battles in the beginning because I know it's going to get easier. And when you come from that frame of reference, if you start to reframe your perception of what transformation is, it's not just this logical leap. There's going to be diversions. You're going to have to be adaptable. Like I said, sometimes it's easy if you walk with the right person who knows how to get your outcome because they're an expert. But if you don't, sometimes you got to, what do they call it? Fail forward, I think that's what they call it, or fail fast forward. So the more failures you go through right in the beginning, going forward and forward and forward, you're going to eventually adjust and learn and adapt. But whatever it is, when you start to see it from that way, you'll then start to see it as more of a fun challenge because you're at peace with that beginning resistance. And once again, I'm going to say it in the most simplistic way. It's okay to be able to go through that initial pressure. It's absolutely normal to go through it in the beginning. So don't resist that, because I'll tell you what will happen if you do resist. You're just going to cry in a different way of disappointment and regret. Now think about that. That is continuous. The act of not doing, like I said, the regret of not doing versus the regret of doing the things and failing, but learning from them, those get less and less and less as you learn and grow because you're doing things. Whereas the regret of doing nothing is just a prolonged linear experience. All the way up to that future self, that is what will happen, right? So we get to choose the hard path there, the hard of doing nothing, living in sedation, living in the doom scrolling on the phone, living in the sedation or escapism or the numbing aspects and behaviors that we may have, whether it be, say, alcohol, whether it be the internet, whether it be gaming, whether it be anything other than working on yourself, just to escape it. But you know deep down that pain is still there beneath the surface because we're not happy. Because if you're saying on the one hand, I'm not good enough, worthy and deserving, and those echoes are happening within your mind and your physical neurology, and we're going to talk about that on a future episode, that your body is carrying this. And it's literally carrying energy and heaviness, right? Because when you feel not good enough or worthy, that's not a light feeling. It's a heavy feeling. For many people, depression is a heavy feeling. Anxiety is a draining feeling, right? It's draining our physical energy. So when we're doing this, or the lack of doing these things, we're still feeling the emotional pain. So once again, we make a decision. We decide. I always like to say, decide and declare that you're going to make that decision that I'm going to be different today. I'm going to be a different human. I'm going to be a different version of myself because my present self and future self are not separate entities. We're the same entity, but we're just, depending on the timeline we go down, will transform what that future self will look like, feel like, act like, where it is living regret or sadness to absolute joy and gratitude and absolute financial abundance, whatever it is that is your dream. So remember that. Sometimes you got to go through the harshness in the present to be able to make your future self so proud. So don't wane away from it. Don't be scared of it. Almost welcome it. Welcome it as an opportunity of growth, that you're going to make that future you so proud. Now imagine that one more time, the two timelines. Go into the future self of, say, like 1 year, 2 year, 5 year, and when you do the lack of nothing, or the doing of nothing, which then leads to regret, and how does that future you feel? probably more of the same, but worse because it's prolonged in our energetic body. Not very nice energetically, right? Now, clear the screen, kind of wake up and let go of that for a moment. Now put yourself in the future self, looking back at you who did the work. How does that you feel? Does that feel lighter? Does it feel abundant? Does it feel excited that you made that change? Like I said, now it's tears of joy, tears of love. Now, to me, that is the path we should be aiming for. Not living in the middle of those two paths for lack of doing anything, not doing the things, therefore regretting, but actually choosing the right path, which will make that future you proud. So I hope you got value from this. Like I said, this is a wake-up call, but we can do it in a joyful way at the same time, because that future you will be joyful. And to me, that is a good thing. And by the way, when I say about investing in money into your development, I have zero regrets over that, because we put investments into our devices, in our vices, in our stresses, in our insurances. If you're in America, like if we're going for future ailments because of a stress that is caused by our emotional, psychological issues, investing in yourself is the best thing. And I don't even worry or care if it's investing with me. I don't mind. But the investment in yourself, no matter how small, can make so many big dividends in the future beautiful self. That is why I say those things. Of course, if you have literally zero anything, you have multiple amounts of time to counter that. That's the other side of the equation. So I want you to know that's why I say these things, because I've done it just in the exact same way. And I know the difference between personally what it feels like to be on those both sides of the equations. And just know, I want you to be happy. I want you to have a legacy. I want you to have a life where you loved and you lived it and you kind of experienced so much beauty in the world that you go, wow, I made this possible, because you can make this possible. So with that, my friend, of course, you can go ahead and if you did say want to work me, you don't have to. You can apply, which is josephclough.info/talk. Ultimately, it's a customized program. We get to work with us, a team, and also a group of people there to serve you, help you, and inspire you in the most beautiful way. And yeah, you get to have this wonderful transformation. But you go ahead and book a call by filling out an application form. And if you're a good fit for us and you feel like you resonate with me and my message, then we may have an opportunity to work together. Yes, there's an investment, of course, because my program is significant in transformation and the time of how we deliver it and get the results for you. So that's just at josephclough.info/talk. And yeah, otherwise go ahead and get the app and become a subscriber, and that'll be like, I don't want to demean the app because I think it's amazing. I've invested so much, but that is the other level you can go for as well. And of course, if you're enjoying my work, please go ahead and leave a review on the App Store, because I'm here to support you and I want to make the app the biggest and the bestest in the world when it comes to hypnosis. It's #1 in most countries, and also it's the most amount of hypnosis tracks. So if you are getting value, I think we got a track there for most people, and we can really serve and help one another by sharing a review on the App Store. So thank you ever so much, and I look forward to speaking to you on a future episode. Many thanks, and goodbye. Welcome back. How are we doing? So that was episode 1117, and this will be released directly after the hypnosis session and the bonus sleep version of the I Am Love and Light session. So that's going to be fun. I think you're going to enjoy that one if you haven't. I've got a version on YouTube already, but you'll get the meditation, the day asleep, and the 4-hour sleep as well. Thank you so much, Jen. Appreciate your kind words. Great to have you here. I know you're usually working around this time, so thank you for being here on your time off. It was nice to be back doing a podcast. First time in 3 weeks. Forgot to mute myself there, though.
Oh no. What a silly, silly person.
Thank you, Linda. Great to have you here as always as well. The transformations you're making are so inspiring too. It's a good job. Exactly. Back to the work. So Mary, would you usually say the word holiday? Or would it be vacation for you still? Are you using holiday because I kind of see it as holiday? Or I do see it as vacation because I do say vacation. But you entering my English model of the world of the holiday? That's a very respect. We don't have to agree with other people's model of the world, but to respect it. Try to enter it. Thank you, Mina. Very, very kind of you. Thank you, Michelle, as well. It's nice to be back. Well, thank you ever so much for entering my world. Very, very thoughtful. I think I've used both words today, holiday and vacation. But that's the other thing. It's hard to live in two worlds sometimes. I notice it when I'm back in England because I have to restrain the words that I use. So I never say, where is the trash? I go, where's the bin? We have bin men. I don't know if that's politically correct. I'm sure there's women. We have bin people. You know, the way you put it in the truck. The garbage truck. We don't call it... Do you call it the garbage? Yeah. We call it the bin. Put the rubbish in the bin. Trash. Yeah, rubbish. I'm confused. Where am I? You can... what? So where's the trash basket, right? Trash. Or the bin. We'll call it the bin. Put it in the bin. Take the bin out. Empty the bin. Empty the trash. Right? That's American? Or have I gone into a different realm? Another parallel universe. What's happened to me? Come in, jet lag. Whew. We haven't done this. Jet lag for 2 days. At least 2 days. At least 2 days. My head was like that. At the most simplest tasks. I don't know if I was alive, fully conscious. I was a zombie. But the good news is it was the least amount of naps I ever had. I had one nap when I took two, you actually know this, 2 naps in 1 day. But I only did that once, I think. Maybe I had another nap. I don't know, I'm confused now. My brain was like, you ready? Every 5 minutes, my brain had to reboot itself. But I eventually got it. They say it takes the equivalent of the time change into days. So if 8 hours in the future is England, so technically it takes about 8 days to fully recover. Of course, doesn't like, once again, like the transformation doesn't just suddenly happen on the 8th. It gets less and less over time. Should have used that as an analogy after all that. Oh my goodness. That would have worked as well. Yeah. So the jet lag. Crazy. Yeah, you gotta have fun. I'm gonna honestly try to do the echo. I'm not quick enough.
It's Grim's birthday. Happy birthday to you, my friend.
What's happened? Grim, where are you? It's not even your birthday. What button was that? I don't even know what button that was. 1, 2.
1, 2.
Oh my goodness. He gets everywhere, that guy. But you gotta have fun. No, in England it's not. Maybe if you use the H-E-L-L afterwards, but I don't think that's even cursing, or is it? But it's like bloomin'. That's interesting about curse words with different meanings. Do you see any trucks serve baked? Do you see any trucks serve baked potatoes? No, I don't think I did, but they do. We have, in a place in Cambridge, there's a place, I've never been to it, I don't know if it's even around still, but they're called Tatties. Tattis, like potato. That's a nickname for potatoes, or a baked potato. I don't know if that's a southern northern thing. I've never used the word probably before now, but that's another known for it as well. You say bin, Michelle? You're the first person I know who said bin, rather not trash, in America. Everyone, I don't know, is it a Californian thing? That's the other thing, every state is like a different country. Yeah, like a jacket potato. Hey Cheryl, great to have you here. Welcome back. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Oh, and thank you so much, Cheryl, for the super chat. Didn't see that coming. Was that really loud for you? Because it was for me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That is really loud in my ears. Now you're just combining them. Trash bin. I told a friend of mine to come out here and have a business for Yorkshire puddings. For anyone in England, you're probably all asleep. But Yorkshire pudding trailer truck would blow everyone's mind in America. And it'd be the most cheap ingredients. Make a lot of money. Yeah, well, when you think about a holiday, we think of holy day, don't we? Like when it comes like, say, Christmas or a bank holiday can be religious at times, like a holy day. But for some reason in England, we use that as a holiday as well, but we never use vacation. That's interesting. Any English roots? I actually briefly spoke to Grim yesterday on chat. But he's a busy, busy man. Like Kevin Michael Reed, who is directing theatre at the moment. I'm already behind on the chat. Is he trash bin? Oh my goodness. Maybe it's a state thing. Soda pop. We don't say soda, I don't think. I know, I think I would call it a fizzy drink. Very explanational. But when I was growing up, I never drank Coca-Cola or anything like that until I was like a teenager. Oh wow. Hopefully you're staying safe. I remember, my music's way too loud. Living in Austin, the tornado for me, I found them really fun and exciting. While my partner at the time was hiding in the bathroom, in the bathtub, ready to put like the mattress and pillows with the pets. And I was just like almost looking at the window on my computer, checking everything. She was probably the wiser one in that situation, but I was like, oh my goodness, look at that lightning. I'm so behind. I don't know what that's related to me now. There we go. Anything else? Thank you, Michelle. You have a most wonderful time. Thank you for joining me back on the first one. And remember, Cheryl, to be very cautious of the words you use. I don't want it to be about me personally, if you can. Otherwise, I don't want to ban people for saying things. Try to keep it about the work if possible, like a food truck idea. Yeah, I think, like, I was imagining like a United Kingdom flag, a British bulldog. We'll call it something like Winston Churchill, Yorkshire puddings. Try to lean into the Englishness, and then make it like real. Just sell it as much as possible to the American market, as English as possible. I did. One of the immigration places when I was living in Austin. Is that a really weird sound then? Is it this? Was based in San Antonio. So we went to San Antonio and we stayed in one of the hotels on the Riverwalk. And I'll be honest, I had my worst pizza in my life there. The worst pizza. Why? Because it had sugar in it. It was a sweet pizza. And I was like, why is there sugar in this pizza? Yes. On a Sunday roast, Yorkshire pudding, roast potatoes, roast parsnips, roast Brussels sprouts, maybe a bit of swede, carrots, broccoli, pan-fried Brussels sprouts, of course. Then your choice of meat, whether it be a roast chicken or maybe beef, lamb. If you have lamb, you got to have the mint sauce. You have the chicken, I'd probably go bread sauce. Horseradish for the beef, and then Yorkshire pudding and gravy. Complete Sunday English roast. Pretty much like a Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner, but something that the English have sometimes weekly. Do it. Do it. One of my birthdays, well, I went away at Christmas time in Thailand, New Year. I think... No, that wasn't for my birthday, but I've taken myself out to a hotel by the beach for my birthday, just by myself. Do it. Get out there, go for a walk. Yeah, it's a savory thing, right? Savory. The equivalent would be a pop over, for those who know that in America. Similar to that, a pop over. Pop over, I think. Right, I make my own bread sauce. There's now, by the way, there's not a Power Talk channel. It's not a hypnosis channel. We're just doing a cooking YouTube channel now. That will get us into the algorithms. But over in America, I cannot find bread sauce. So I make my bread sauce. What you do is you get breadcrumbs, or I actually buy bread and then, make it into breadcrumbs. Then you put it in the pan with milk, and then you put obviously a bit of salt, a bit of seasoning of your choice, and you mix it around until it starts to thicken up. And then you have your bread sauce. Put that with chicken or turkey, and you are good to go. Yes, you've read my mind as I was saying that. Look at that. Yeah, we're doing a YouTube cooking channel. We're going to change the cameras to make them overhead, and I can do all the cooking in the kitchen. It'll be a Sunday roast stream. We try making bread sauce, by the way, if you can't buy it. So super quick to make. Okay, first stream back, we've gone to an hour. We should probably close down the stream before we change into a conspiracy channel or a ghost story channel, or maybe we'll go into a get rich quick pyramid scheme channel. Just to cover all YouTube channels. Hey Malcolm, great to hear from you. You should be asleep. It's been a long time. It's coming up to your midnight. Hope you're doing well. Last time we spoke was probably like a year ago, right? And before that, it was like a year before that. I would like to potentially do a podcast. If I had time, I would do a weird and wonderful podcast. That's what I would be going for. Maybe 6 months, but maybe a year. But great to have you here. Prepper channels. Do you want to start a business? You can sell to preppers because they're always preparing. You can always need to stock up on more things. I actually knew someone in the marketing space in that. Yes, midnight in 1 minute's time. 1 minute's time. Yeah, I'll do that. Growing up watching The X-Files, I wanted to be an X-Filer. Right. Oh, July the 28th it is. There we go. That's what you meant. July the 28th. You share the same birthday month as Paul, my father. Yeah, I think we're done. Good stream to be back talking about all different things as usual. So, yeah, I used to, didn't I? I used to do my yearly birthday speech. But no, I don't do them anymore. I think I used to literally do them on my birthday. So I like the authenticness of doing it on my birthday. Yeah, so if you go to the podcast and just type in birthday, there'll be like, say, 35th birthday, 29th birthday, however long I did them. Let's see. Who needs to shut down the stream? Not me. Although I got work today, but if I type it, it's in the free section. Look at that. 38th, 37, 34, 33rd, 32nd, 31st. So yeah, I used to do them. I know. Because guess what? I spoke to Paul later that day. I spoke to him my morning. No, late morning. It was his like almost 8 p.m. Oh, I did put that one up already. Yeah, I just kind of... It was kind of like a power talk, but maybe reflection of the year. Think about it as the Queen's speech in England. The Christmas Day, you have the Queen's speech. Well, I had the birthday speech. She took the Christmas one. We discussed the whole thing. I know. I've got maybe. No, you're all good, and that's why I'm emailing. So nothing to be concerned about. In fact, it's going to be great. You're going to read it and go, that's pretty awesome. I'm hoping anyway. Okay, for the fourth or fifth time, I'm going to say we're probably going to shut down the stream, so ask your final questions or observations before we do so. We're now down to not many viewers. I think when we start talking about cooking recipes, we went down to about 7 viewers, which we're at now. But the 7 viewers are the best viewers, because 7 is a lucky number. Thank you, Mary. You are awesome too. Time to shine. Am I back again next week? I'll be back on Monday for another live stream. I doubt I will be doing another in the week stream. I'm not sure. My brother actually told me, he said, why don't you just test going live every day for a week? And I was like, phew. I'd like to, but then we'll definitely go into crazy subject, and that's it. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Okay, my friends, thank you for being here. I look forward to speaking to you next Monday. If you're a part of my program, of course, you're speaking to me this Saturday for another powerful group coaching call with processes and transformations and chats. But for everyone else, go ahead and get the app if you haven't already at freehypnosis.Mary, why are you covering up the URL? So naughty. First stream back, and you covered up the free hypnosis by saying you are the best viewers. We are the best viewers. Yes. We go down some tangents. And I blame all of you. I'm very big into taking responsibility, and I'm taking responsibility of an accusation that you all caused the mischief and the trouble of the rabbit holes. That's my empowerment of taking responsibility. Thank you, Jen. Thank you for supporting the channel as well. And thank you, Cheryl, for supporting the channel. So thank you. Yes, you are. Yeah, you're taking responsibility for that. So I'm at peace with that. But Mina's not taking responsibility, which is a true sign that you should take responsibility. Anyway, thank you, everyone. I'm in the stream now. Have most wonderful time, and let's put up the graphic, which is absolutely not true because I only live stream on Mondays. So speak to you all soon. Many thanks and goodbye.